Good morning. Welcome to the program on this Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. How is everybody doing today? I hope so far your morning is going well. Mine is going well. Good, except I do gotta say, if crickets, the little insect, I think they're insects, unless they're a different classification. If all insects in the world, not all insects, sorry. If all crickets in the world vanished from the face of the earth tomorrow, I would not be upset. There's one thing I hate more. I think about remember Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton? And he asked all those questions, and what's the one question he asked was, what sound do you hate? My answer would be the sound of a cricket. I hate crickets. I want them all to perish. And I'm quite certain that they have some sort of relationship with the ecosystem. And, I'm sure they have a function in this life, in this world, in this universe. But I'm willing to take the ecological damage to get rid of all crickets. It's my 2 cents. Star Wars Santa, good morning. Howdy. Harvey, good morning. LB, good morning. Eric is here. What is up? Good morning. Santa says, I'd keep the crickets in exchange for ridding the world of mosquitoes. See, here's the thing. I understand that sentiment, but you can get preventative measures against crickets or mosquitoes. It's very difficult to find, locate, and eradicate the crickets. So I don't know that I would do that. I understand the sentiment though, because mosquitoes also suck. They also are the worst. But yeah, so on today's program, guys, we're gonna earplugs. I'm not putting earplugs in my ears while I'm sleeping. Not doing that. Especially because I think one is in my wall. Is that weird? Like legit, like all of a sudden 2 days ago, I started hearing this cricket sound, and then it only happens certain points, and then I don't know, it's just like it's getting worse and worse, and it woke me up this morning, and I was like pressing my head against the wall. I'm trying to be like a detective, trying to figure out where it's coming from. And it's driving me insane. It is. Lavis, what's up? What is going on? So listen, today I'm gonna try something a little different today. Still gonna do like the big topic. We got the big topic of a possible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action show coming to CBS All Access. And I think that's awesome. And I'll go over why I think it's awesome and why you should think it's awesome. Wayne, what's up? But after that, I have a few other topics. And I think what I'm going to do, I set it up, kind of. Well, I did a semi setup, and we'll see if it works. Steven, what's up? I'm gonna let you guys vote to kind of navigate which stories we do. That beloved commercial. What? Oh, the Bud Light commercial. Was it Bud Light? No, Budweiser. Right, Budweiser. What's up? Trinity, what up? Yeah, Harvey, because here's the thing, right? I've gotten to the point where Debate 8, I'm not saying it's a perfect show at all. All shows can improve, but I think I've gotten Debate 8 to at least a point where now I'm like tweaking and tinkering versus big fundamental changes in the show. So, and I still have a lot of tinkering and tweaking that I'm doing for that as well. I got some things that I'm working on. But for this show, I'm still trying to like get my footing on it and figuring out like what is this show. And I definitely, part of, you know, my what my channel has always been, and I should say what I always wanted it to be, was definitely an interactive channel, right? And so I felt like, well, this show is very much, while we have conversational interaction, which is perfect, which absolutely runs the show. It wouldn't be anything without the conversations. It's not as actual interactive as I'd like sort of the channel to be. So I'm gonna try this element today. We'll see if it works. I have some other things that I'm like tinkering around with too when it comes to like, I don't know. I found this betting system, and I'm just trying to figure out a way how I would have a betting system involved in news stories. And it's a code I'm trying to crack. I'm hoping to do it because I think that would make it even more fun. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So we'll see. But after we do the first story, we'll pop it up and we'll continue. We'll try that out for today. Okay. So let's do this. Let's get to our first topic. A live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series in the works at CBS All Access. Now, I've said before, I have CBS All Access. I actually enjoy the user interface. I think some of the programming is yet to be desired, but it kind of sounds like CBS wants, and Viacom, extension of that, want to start. They realize if they don't start jumping on original content and good original content, that they're going to fall behind for sure. And I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be a great series to do, especially what they want to do. And we'll talk about the kind that they want to do. LB jumps in and says, hopefully it's better than the last three. I would say the last two of the three. Into the Shadows, the sequel of the new ones, not so great. I actually didn't mind the reboot, though, you know, the one of the picture listed here. I was very hesitant going in, but as a big Turtles fan, I typically give any reincarnation of it a shot, right? It's just me. I like Turtle stuff. So I always give it a shot. And I was surprised. It's not the best Turtles I've ever seen, but it certainly was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, you tried. It's okay. Look, I'm not dying on this hill, right? I get it. Believe me, I get it. If anyone says that they didn't like those two, you're not really going to get an argument from me. I happen to like the first of the two. But I get it. I totally get it. Go Ninja, go. That's all I got to say about that. Wayne, second Ninja Turtle Seeker of the Ooze is definitely a nostalgic favorite for sure. But yeah, LB, the other one, the third one, Turtles in Time. Yeah, that wasn't great. Not great. And of course, the first one is a classic for sure. First, I'm hearing about this news. Yeah, well, it's not from an outlet that you would consider necessarily trustworthy, but I was actually going through. Jason with the new channel icon. I like it, Jason. Got the palm trees. I like the purple. I love all the TMNT movies, man. Look, I have a soft spot for Turtles. I really do. And so I definitely, I'm not going to go hard on things that were bad for sure. But yeah, maybe I got to give Turtles in Time another watch. TMNT holds a special place in my heart. Me too, man. Me too. I see, when I was growing up, I know a lot of kids my age were like way into like G.I. Joe and stuff. And I wasn't a G.I. Joe kid. I was a Turtles kid. I was very big on that. Wayne says turtles were a big part of my childhood. I used to have the old black and white comics. Oh, wait till you hear what they're basing the show on. I wish I still had them. I think they're worth a lot of money now. Yeah. I don't know how much the value is of them. That would be a Trinity question. But I gotta imagine the old school, like black and white, very violent turtles are gotta be worth something. TMNT at the wrong time for me. I'm not plugged in as much as the outside of kids who ask them toys for Christmas. Yeah, no. I get it. Yeah, Santa. It's probably if I don't know if Mike's here yet, or if Mike's popping in this morning, but I gotta imagine for you and Mike, it's probably it's sort of like I bet Santa, I bet you are a huge A-Team fan, right? If I had to make a guess, like that era, I'm sure like A-Team was like your jam. I feel like maybe. Yeah, don't mess with Mr. T. See, I knew it. Yeah, I could tell. Like you're probably an A-Team guy, which is again that would be like slightly before my time. I had all the original graphic novels before they changed the color of the bandanas. Yeah, man, so cool, right? So here, let's go. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but some good information here, right? We have exclusively learned. And by the way, Cinema Spot, I was like, okay, what's Cinema Spot? This is the first time I really heard. And I went back through a lot of their posts, and I gotta say, a lot of their things, here's what I'll say about them. They're very big on the CBS All Access stuff. They have a lot of exclusives for that. So they obviously have a connection to CBS All Access and Viacom in general. So I saw some other Viacom stuff there. So I was scrolling through past their past stuff, and nothing on there was necessarily like debunked. So, we'll take it for what it is. They seem to have a lot of CBS All Access, specific stuff. So I would imagine they have some sort of source there. We have exclusively learned that a new live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series is currently in development for the CBS All Access service. Now, here's what should get people excited, and if you're not familiar with it, I'll explain why you should get excited. The series is set to adapt The Last Ronin, which is the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 5-issue miniseries from IDW Publishing. The comic series is set to release later this year, I believe August. And I'm not going to get into their synopsis because I want to actually jump to IDW's site and go and tell you, like, kind of read you the stuff because it's really cool. It's really cool. But does anyone remember the copycats, like preteen dirty Gene Kung Fu Kangaroos? I don't. That I don't. I don't remember Kung Fu Kangaroos. Do you think there's going to be a reboot for the Ninja Turtles? Yes. Like in a movie theatrical, traditional Ninja Turtles? Yes, I do. That's not what this is. That is definitely not what this is. Let me read this. The Last Ronin imagines a dark future for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles straight from the TMNT creators Eastman and Laird. Which, by the way, never would have happened if did you guys all see The Toys That Made Us? You remember, that show, that series on Netflix, Toys That Made Us? Well, in the latest season, they did Ninja Turtle toys. It was an okay episode, and the reason I say this because I feel like the story of how the toys were made wasn't as compelling as you would hope. But that being said, it was a lot of cool stuff. Like I thought a lot of the season 1 stories, especially the Star Wars one, man. I thought the story of making the toys wasn't as compelling. But what was great about that episode was the the real drama of Eastman and Laird. And they, man, over time, they just did not like each other. They totally glossed over the fact that they were gay. Well, you know what? I don't think it matters to that story. You know what I mean? Like the story they were trying to tell. Look, don't we all say, like, if it's not part of it, don't talk about it? Well, not don't talk about it. Like, if it's just inherent in your character, like, well, I mean, they're real people. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, let's get to this. The fact that they were a couple was an intricate part of the story. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Sinner, good morning. Oh, no worries. We're just talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, so, but because of that show, and they seem to like rekindle their working relationship, or at least a friendship again. And if you were interested in the old school, like violent, like Ninja Turtle stuff, this I think is going to be pretty cool. Springing from a lost 1987 storyline by creator Eastman and Laird, the much anticipated Last Ronin will be available this summer. All right, so here's the synopsis. In a future New York City far different from the one we know today, a lone surviving turtle goes on a seemingly hopeless mission to obtain justice for his fallen family and friends. Brutal. Kinetic layouts from Eastman, atmospheric inks from Andy Kuhn, and a thrilling script full of surprises from longtime TMNT scribe Tom Waltz all combine to make this one of the most memorable TMNT stories that fans will ever read. About 10 years ago, I rediscovered a 20-page outline for a TMNT story that Peter and I wrote together back in 1987. The story was set 30 years in the future, which, as written then, was set 2017. Reading through it again, I drifted back to a very different time in TMNT history, back when it was all about the comics, mostly just Peter and I writing and drawing the issues, pre-everything the world would soon come to know about these characters that we'd created and called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's been an incredible 36-year journey, thanks to the brilliant talents of so many brought. So yeah, trust me, Tom, Andy, and I have started on a 200-page journey, and it is going to be one hell of a ride. Right? So this looks really cool, right? Just the synopsis. Trinity says, I haven't read TMNT since I was a kid, but I'll be getting this. Trinity, it's because of you reigniting my interest of comics again. This will probably be the first physical, and you know I'm a digital guy, but this might be the first physical copy of a comic that I buy that I will have bought in a very long time. I'm very excited for this, and just the fact that like this story might be converted into a CBS All Access, like a streaming show. All right, so just some background here for IDW for those curious. This is coming out. As of right now, it says August, so we'll see if they hold with that. It's same synopsis. Oversized in both format and page count. This is a perennial TMNT that can't be missed. $8.99 for this, but it does say 48 pages, so you know, more pages, more money, right? It was almost adapted in the late 2000s, if I remember correctly. Yeah, maybe I don't late 2000s. I don't know that if that came out, I missed that, but I'm glad it wasn't, honestly, because then it would have been on network TV or something. Like, I don't know. I'm glad it's gonna wait for streaming. Oh, J-Buck's here. Jared, good morning, man. I'm in for a newer spin on TMNT. Give me some futuristic nonsense. Oh, yeah, me too, man. Yeah, Harvey says, look at you, Trinity, inspiring renewed readership everywhere. It is, dude. If you're not watching Trinity stuff and getting inspired every time he like talks about comics, even though it's like not half. There are some comics he talks about that like I have no interest in, but to hear the passion in him talking about it just gets you pumped up and excited about reading comics again. And I told Trinity this before. Look, I was a big John Schnepp fan, especially his Heroes show on Collider and AMC, I think before that, because the man really got the fun aspect of comics, and he really was like a person that portrayed that fun side of it. And I told Trinity, I think it's since John Schnepp died, I think YouTube has been missing that I don't know. I know tons of people talk about comics, but I gotta say, like, the reason why I think Trinity does talking about comics well, because he really inspires you to be excited for it. And I don't know, it's just a natural instinct he has. So I think not since John Schnepp has somebody inspired people to really go out and actually go read comics. It's cool that Eastman and Laird hold the rights to produce TMNT in comics from long after selling mostly of the rights. Yeah, they're lucky. They're very lucky. If I've only convinced one person to pick up a comic book, I feel like I've done my job. And that's why you're the best, man. That's why you're the best at this. All right, let me go to this. Hold on, So IDW put out for people to see, so we're gonna see it together. A preview of it, The Last Ronin. Look at that. Now, here's what's cool. Think of this in your head. They haven't let anyone know yet which turtle is the surviving turtle. I have a theory, but I want to go through this first, and then think about which turtle you think it might be. Is now cold, huh? Yeah, all the time. Forget the temperature. The toxicity levels got to be off the charts. You'd have to be crazy to swim in that sludge. Maybe. But no bridges, no boats. Don't leave me much of a choice. Stay behind if it bothers you that much. Hey, where you go, we go. You know that. Yeah, I know. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's do this. See you on the other side. Look at that. There you go, Jared. There's your futuristic. Pretty cool. Look at that sludge. Gross. Wish for death. The water is cold, like ice. Smells wrong too. Tastes worse. I guess after decades of the pollution and global warming, it's all kind of nasty. Definitely not fit for human survival. That's okay. I'm not human. And I've got plenty of my own nasty. Shink. Need to do like some sound effects. Oh, wait, here's what I should do. Wait. Hold on. Lower the reverb. Couple crappy cameras. Rusty barbed wire. Oh, wait, let's pause the music. I gotta set the mood. Couple crappy cameras. Rusty barbed wire, no guards. Looks like they're way more worried about folks getting out than in. That's a mistake. I'm gonna make damn sure of it. Or die trying. The Last Ronin. So yeah, what a cool little tease. So look at this. Okay, last surviving turtle. Has all the weapons. And look at this mask. Black mask. So, who do you think this is? I have a theory. I think the easy go-to would say Raphael. Obviously, Raphael has the history of being the violent one. He's always got a score to settle. But I think what would make this even more tragic is that if the fun-loving Michelangelo, the one who never took anything necessarily too seriously, was now the last surviving turtle, and it like snapped him. Like, how tragic would that be? Steven says Donatello, the smartest, survived. That could be it too, man. That could be it too. Leonardo has the fighting skills to survive. Leonardo was the best fighter. I don't know if I'm going to put money on it. I'm going to put money that it's Michelangelo. And I think that's going to make it an even more, tragic story. But that's just me. That's my thoughts. What do you guys think? Who do you think this could be? Who would you want it to be? I think Michelangelo. Harvey says Mikey makes sense. Did we see the nunchucks? Good question. We saw the bow staff, we saw the katana, we saw the sai. Don't know. Oh yeah, right there. There's the nunchucks. So yeah. So he does have all four. Leo, full stop. All right. Interesting. Yeah, Mikey says Sinner. Why full stop, Jason? Look, no complaints on me if it's Leonardo. I mean, it would make sense. He's the best fighter. So if anyone's going to survive anything, like some sort of attack, it's the best fighter. The de facto leader. Wayne says, I could see it being Michelangelo. Me too, man. For the story, I could see it being Michelangelo. But yeah, I don't know. This is, I gotta say, just reading through this, obviously we haven't read the actual series yet. But the idea of this as a show, like a lone surviving turtle, I think could be super cool. And look, CBS is not afraid of doing like, look, I'm not going to say the Star Trek stuff is dark, but it hasn't always been light either. So I think we gotta wait. Casting I'm not so concerned about because it's probably going to be like a mostly voiceover anyway, but let me see if they can get like a nice name as a showrunner or a nice name as a director, and then we'll really get the ball rolling. But we'll put it out there that this is a thing, and hopefully this gets done. I think that'd be great. Okay. Now we did the first topic. Now we're going to test out this thing that we'll see if it epically fails or not. All right. So I have a few other news things to talk about. But wait, hold on. Let's see. Husni, am I saying that right? Husni? Good morning. First of all, good morning. Thanks for hanging out, man. I think it's Donatello because the color of Donnie's skin looks like the color they used on Donnie since TMNT 2003. It's investigative work there. And because the story Old Turtle Don where the other turtles are dead. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Where you go, we follow. Hold on, let me go back. Now we gotta take a look at this. Yeah, I can see that. You go, we go. You know that. I don't know. don't know. It's gonna be. I can't wait. I literally like. I haven't been excited to buy a comic in a long time, and I'm excited for this. So maybe Trinity and I will have to do some combined comic reviews on this one. I think we might have to do that. This is the first time I'll be like really into buying this stuff. Okay, so all right, so let's get back to it. I got a couple other news stories. I'm gonna have you guys vote to determine which one we're gonna talk about next, because it doesn't like, you guys will guide the show. See what we can do. So all right, fingers crossed. Now, you know, I do the polls for Wednesday night debate 8. Oh, by the way, before we even get to that, let's a quick plug. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you come back to the channel. We will be doing tonight's debate 8 is animated film dads. That's right. We just had Father's Day, celebrating Father's Day. We got an incredible list of animated film dads. Here's just 2 of them, 2 of the 8: Mufasa, Mr. Incredible. So make sure you come back tonight. I'll be open. I'm going to create the stream after the show. I'll post it on Twitter. So do that. Do that. Come back tonight. It'll be a fun one. It's going to be a really fun one. Okay, so let's get to this poll. So the reason why I said that is because I'm just testing this out today. I don't have matching graphics. I don't even know if you guys are going to be into this, though. I just stick. Oh, look at that. Stick with it. Okay, cool. Okay. So do that. You can't even see me. Okay. Now it's too tiny. See, yeah, this is all stuff I got to figure out. So let's do that. Okay, there we go. For now, we'll leave it there. Okay. So I got 4 stories. You can vote as you see fit. So I have Green Lantern maybe coming to Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you want that, do !vote Lantern in the chat. If you want to talk about some tinfoil hat Jon Stewart casting, do !vote Stewart. If you want to talk about Mel Gibson being kicked out of Chicken Run 2, do !vote Gibson. And if you want to talk about the DC movies getting extension with HBO Max, do !vote Max. Wayne, you almost did it right twice. !vote, there's a space and then the word. Like here, I'm gonna do it in the chat. I know some of you aren't necessarily. I know, story of your life, right? Yeah, look how Harvey did it. So I'm gonna do vote. I'm gonna do vote Stewart, just to mix it up a bit. So yeah, do !vote and then the word, and then we'll see which one wins. Did you hear from Grace Ryan Reynolds? Hey man, Sinner, I did. That's if you want to talk about that, do !vote Lantern. That's sort of where this story's coming from. So yeah, this is my idea of trying to get people more involved in talking. Because look, I'll always do the main topic. The number one main topic, the thumbnail, is always going to be the biggest one that I personally want to talk about. But I usually, I'm scouring news anyway. I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at newsworthy stuff. But I know that not everyone wants to talk about everything. So, I don't want to necessarily be the one who forces a story on people when it may interest me more than it may interest other people. So I'm totally down after the first one that I really want to talk about to discuss with you guys what you want to talk about next. And clearly, you guys want to talk about Lantern and Green Lantern possibly coming. So I think that's fine. We're gonna close the poll there. A little impromptu. Okay, cool. So you guys are digging this. All right, I like that. I like it. So we'll maybe I'll work on some graphics. We'll implement this. We'll implement this in. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. So where are we? Your favorite scooper, Grace Randolph, has put herself out there again, and we will see how this one goes. Now, it's so funny how yesterday on this show, somebody asked me, how would I feel about Ryan Reynolds coming back as Green Lantern? And I said I thought it would be an awesome idea. I said I thought that he would definitely want to do it, and that it would, you know, he would be the guy who resurrected two characters, right? He did it with Deadpool. They destroyed Deadpool in those terrible X-Men movies, and I will say that more people like the Green Lantern movie than that X-Men movie. Which one was it? X3? Was that the one? But that being said, the majority of people don't really enjoy this movie. So, and I never thought it was Ryan Reynolds' fault. You know, there's a lot of good parts about that movie. Especially, I would say the biggest positives about this movie, about the original Green Lantern movie, was the actors, right? I thought between him and Mark Strong, like, the great casting, terrible script. I really enjoyed the first half of Green Lantern movie, but then it just fell apart. You know, Wayne, I agree. And, you know, we've talked about this before on the show, how the third act really is the hardest part of writing a film. And that's why so many films fall apart. It's because the third act is so difficult. All right. So let's see what Grace says. She says, now that I've heard it from a second source, it seems word is indeed getting out. And so I can confirm the Snyder Cut cameo I've been teasing is indeed Ryan Reynolds for Green Lantern. I'm hearing WB is working on putting the deal together now to make it official. She followed that up with, remember Reynolds has always been supportive of the Snyder Cut, from tweets to appearances. I'll make a video if/when the deal is done, or if trades start covering negotiations, but please remember you heard it here first. It's a great idea. Zach and Ryan are both into it. I think they'll make a deal. Eric's like, no, switch the topic. Wayne says, I read a lot of short stories, and I'm telling you, the final act is always the hardest to write. Yeah, we talked about that the other day, Wayne. It absolutely is. It's so hard to wrap up a story. It's so difficult. And it can go wrong in so many ways. Look, I know that the final season of Game of Thrones, not good. Not great. And it just goes to show how the third act of anything, if you don't stick the landing, it really just hurts everything that came before it. I mean, guys, Game of Thrones, let's be honest with this, okay? I know we're getting off on a little bit of a tangent, but Game of Thrones was one of the greatest shows ever. And it had such a poor ending that for so many people, it destroyed the whole series. The whole series. It was one of the greatest shows ever. And it destroyed the series. That's how important and difficult a third act can be. James, good morning. I like he said, like the third act of Wonder Woman. Yeah. See, that's my biggest issue with Wonder Woman, is the third act, for sure. I like the first. I like the first and second act. Why would she even put this out there? If this is true, it is a spoiler. That's an interesting question, LB. So here's the thing. I would say yes and no. Right? Yes, in the sense of if Warner Brothers wanted to keep this a secret, then sure, yes, it is a spoiler. Let me play devil's advocate, because I'm not sure which side I fall on that. But I don't disagree. I don't disagree with your initial concept. All right. I think though, if Warner Brothers signed Ryan Reynolds, I think that would be a heavy marketing push for this. I do. So I don't know that Warner Brothers would consider it a spoiler. Now, it's easy to say, armchair quarterback it, because now it's out there. If this is true, it's out there. But I would imagine that they would have wanted like just another notch on the belt of this is another reason why you should be watching Snyder Cut. I also think that if this is true, I think this is definitely something they probably would have announced at DC Fandom anyway, and they still might make an official announcement at DC Fandom. So I hear you, LB. I hear you, man. I get that, but I think that in this scenario, because it's so big, I don't know that they would have kept it a secret anyway. So, but who knows? We'll never know because it's out there. And if it's true, their hands are tied. And why Endgame is so good. The third act is incredible. The third act Endgame is really good. I agree. Good morning, Mav. Will says, Will, did I say good morning to you? You just get here? Yeah, same thing is true with songwriting. First verse is always inspiring, then you hit a brick wall. Yeah, sometimes you can always tell when like they don't know how to end a song. They do like the generic like wrap up chords. Mav, you never seen Game of Thrones? Oh. If the ending wasn't so bad, I would tell you to go watch it because it's really good. Third acts are easy. Add a sex scene and death and pow. Yeah. It's the ultimate combination. Honestly, I haven't seen past the season premiere, season 2 of Game of Thrones. Man. To prove your point, Game of Thrones books never had an ending, so I don't bother with the series because I didn't know it would end well. I was right. Yeah, well. Hey, supposedly he's finishing the next one by 2021. But so let's Green Lantern. I don't know, man. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. I do want to show this though. I found this interesting. This is a pinned tweet by a guy named Andrew Dice. Now I never heard Andrew Dice before today, but he is the editor at Screen Rant. And on May, so this is a little while back, on May 23rd, so about a month ago, he posted this picture, hashtag Zack Snyder Justice League, of Ryan Reynolds wearing a Green Lantern ring. Now, obviously, this is either a Photoshop / fan art, but or maybe it's real. I don't know. It could be real. I have no idea. But it's a picture of Ryan Reynolds sitting there with a lantern ring, right? And that was a month ago. There's a guy, Andrew Dice, probably kind of in the know. Screen Rant, assumingly in the know, obviously, and host of Batman v Superman by the Minute podcast. So somebody who clearly is like into the Snyderverse posted that picture a month ago. Now, maybe that was wishful thinking. I don't know. But makes you think, doesn't it? Let me stroke the imaginary beard, I stroke my Santa beard. What's up, Decepticon? What up, Brian? Good morning. He was also on the Flash Pod for TV show. Okay, cool. Okay, so he's definitely a DC guy. As far as, I'm not saying he's not a fan of Marvel stuff, but he's definitely like a bigger fan of the DC stuff. Ryan and Snyder Cut isn't a spoiler, it's a seller. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how I would lean it, but I get LB's point. I get LB's point because it's like it's a fine line between a selling point and a spoiler, right? Because like, I get it. I get like you want eyeballs on this thing, so you're gonna. And Ryan Reynolds is as big as it gets. He's as big as it gets right now. He's a international superstar, Ryan Reynolds. So you get an international superstar, you got to promote that. But let's take the flip side of what LB is saying. How much cooler would it be? Sorry for popping out there. How much cooler would it be if you were sitting down watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then all of a sudden Ryan Reynolds pops up as Green Lantern, and you're literally seeing that for the first time while you're watching? I mean, yeah, the ring doesn't look real to me. That's why I think it's a very, very cool Photoshop. But it's less about. So I agree, Sinner. Less about what the photo is. It's more just like a month ago, this guy who's like into DC and like does DC stuff and works for Screen Rant put that out there. Maybe he outscooped Grace. Just saying. I'm making an executive decision. I'm gonna loop in the tinfoil hat Jon Stewart casting just because I showed this picture. He posted something else. He posted this today, or I should say overnight. It says for me it says 1:35 in the morning. So late, very late last night, early morning today, however you want to look at it. He posted this picture. Same dealie. Green Lantern ring. And look, man, if he accurately predicted that Zack Snyder or that Ryan Reynolds was coming back as Green Lantern, which may or may not be true, we'll see. Does that mean we got our Jon Stewart? This is an actor by the name of Omari Hardwick, most notable for his work in Power, but he has also played some other roles in other films, and Kick-Ass, Sorry to Bother You, A-Team. I was trying to see if there's anything like super big, but I think those are like the biggest stuff. So yeah, Wayne, the rings are fake. These are definitely photoshopped images, like 100% they're photoshopped. But again, it's not the picture. It's not like, is the picture real? I think we can all agree that the picture's not real. I think it's just the intent behind showing these pictures. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if this got a little bit more play today. Omari Hardwick could be your Jon Stewart. Just saying. I mean, if we were popping this up and he was right about this a month ago, man must know something. Ryan Reynolds may bring more Marvel fans and normies to watch Snyder Cut. It's true. Yeah. And look, I get it. I get that side. I do. He absolutely will. And I would say not even just Marvel fans, normies. Ryan Reynolds is a play for normies, not Marvel. I mean, I think a lot of Marvel people are still going to watch this. They may hate watch it. They're going to watch it. They're gonna watch it. This thing is gonna be it's gonna be huge. If for nothing else, the curiosity factor. Honestly, I would not watch the Snyder Cut if Ryan Reynolds returns as Green Lantern, and I didn't want to watch the Snyder Cut before I finally decided to give it a chance. This would end that quick. Really? Why? Why? I'm curious. Please, Wayne, expand on that. If he shows up in the DCO, that means Deadpool is really dead in the MCU. No, Brian, I don't agree with that. Man, actors can do both. Actors can jump both sides. I don't see that as an issue. Really, honestly, I don't. The dude's a superstar. He looks like he'd be a good Jon Stewart, but the rings look fake as hell. Yeah, but I think you wrote that before I said, yeah, it's not about the picture. It's about the intent of the picture. I'm sure Josh will be all over her. I mean, Grace's scoop. Ooh, burn. Love Kick-Ass. Yeah, Kick-Ass is awesome. If he's going to be Jon Stewart on screen, I am here for it. Yeah, man, me too. He's got the look. He's got that stoic face, right? I like it. I'll be honest, I haven't seen Power, so and I don't remember him in Kick-Ass. I actually don't remember. Of course I've seen Kick-Ass. I've seen it a couple times. It never stuck in my brain, but it is going to be in a future Debate 8, so I definitely got to revisit that. Because then that god-awful Green Lantern movie would be canon. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but look, they're bringing Keaton back, and they're saying that Batman and Batman Returns are canon, but Forever and Batman and Robin are not. So he could still come back and then not really consider that Green Lantern movie canon, right? I don't think that signs on the dotted line that movie is canon. And I use quotey fingers when I said it. Yeah, okay. It's not the actor, but the studios that won't want him in both universes. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. He's a mega superstar. I wouldn't care. If I was running either Marvel Studios or DC, I wouldn't care. Because honestly, like, the more successful the other side is, and this is the truth, the more successful, like if you're Marvel, you really do want DC to be successful. You really do. Because all that's going to do is allow the subgenre of comic book movies and superhero movies to keep going and people to have more interest, right? If everyone sucks and the only, let's just say DC flounders and Marvel is the only one making good movies, people are going to get tired of it. They're going to get super tired of it, and then Marvel's not going to succeed. They're not going to be making as much money. You need that balance. You need the other side to do well. And it's not like you're taking away money. They're not taking away money from each other. They're not going up against each other, right? A Marvel movie that comes out in March is not going to take money away from a DC movie coming out in October, and vice versa. Especially because normies like characters on both sides. See, you and I are thinking rationally, but the studios don't always. I think they do more than you think. Maybe not always, but I think more than we give them credit for. Wayne says, I thought Grace and Chet were a thing, so how can Josh and Grace be a thing? You're right. I think Josh and Chet, yeah. Or Grace, Josh and Chet. That's a thing too. Oh, Mike's here. Good morning. Good morning, Mike. Mike, before we wrap up, I got a question for you. Are you an A-team guy? I'm curious. We were talking about this earlier with Santa. Are you an A-team guy? Back in the day, wherever a Starbucks opened, the local coffee shop would do better. Good competition is good for everyone. Fact. The opposite is also true. Facts. You're right. I think in the scenario of a coffee shop, I think that the only difference I would change to that analogy, Mav, would be it would have to be two chain coffee shops, right? DC and Marvel are too big to ultimately fail, right? So I would say if it was like a Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts across from each other, I think both would easily survive because you have your favorites. But you're okay if you go, like, look, I have my favorite coffee shops, right? Both regular and chain. And I if I have a choice, I'll go to one, but I'm not opposed to going to the other. So yeah, there you go. All right, so what did you guys think about the vote, voting the next topic? I know we only, one thing I've noticed about this show is like sometimes we'll get like 2 topics in. And I'm slowly accepting that, which is why I wanted to do the voting, right? Because I wanted to make sure after we get the main topic done, whatever the next topic is what the majority of the people wanted to do. So I think I might keep that in. I'll mess around with the graphics. Probably not over the next couple of days. We might have to stick with the. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try to work it tonight, and maybe after debate 8, I'll do it. Came here for TMNT. What's happening there? Oh man. All right. I'll do it real quick. Wrap up. For you, Mav, and anyone who came late. There's going to be a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series in the works, hopefully, fingers crossed, at CBS All Access, based on the upcoming comic run of the Last Ronin, which the story is basically one lone surviving turtle. A lone surviving turtle goes on a seemingly hopeless mission to obtain justice for his fallen family and friends. Yes, live action, CBS All Access. Went through boom, 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 boom. Went through some of the artwork that it's hopefully going to be based on. Looks pretty dark. Obviously this isn't out yet, but we'll see. Looks pretty cool. So we'll see. It's very, very early rumor. No other information other than the fact that CBS looks like they want to do it, and that they're going to base it off of this. So, and this isn't even out yet, but obviously they have a copy. But look, it's like it takes place 30 years in the future, I think. What did they say? What year? I think they said 30, right? 30 years. Yeah. Man, the other thing had the date. Where's the date? It was like, set in year 2040, right? 2040. So 20 years from now. Sorry, 20. No, Mike, they're not doing an A-Team reboot. We were just talking about how I was more into Turtles than stuff like G.I. Joe, and Santa said he was not into Turtles. It was after his time, and that I said, I bet you were an A-Team guy, and I said, I bet you and Mike share that A-Team love. Oh, Josh is talking Grace. I knew it. I knew it. I wonder, let's see if Josh was watching my show this morning. If Josh brings up the Green Lantern or the Jon Stewart thing. Let's see if he brings up Omari Hardwick. What do you think? Yes? No? Probably not. I don't know. Might be a Grace love fest on Josh's show. So thank you all for hanging out today. Please come back tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, tonight, Debate 8, we're doing animated film dads. It's going to be an awesome show. Come back tonight. Check my Twitter. Follow right here at Fanjecture. I'll put up a post about it like right now, like right after this, and come back tonight. We'll vote. Thank you all for hanging out. This was an excellent show. This is one of the better shows we've done in a while. So thank you all for hanging out. See you tonight. If I don't, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have yourself a excellent day.